Hi friends, very good evening, दोस्तों. Today I want to talk about types of rice. So as I just wait for more people to join in, let me quickly let you know all that at PWIP we make two kinds of content mainly. On Facebook, we make more of rice content with different rice, how to identify rice, what are the different types of rice, how to find out rice prices, etc. But if you would like to follow more updates on rice exports, then I would suggest you to follow us on our Instagram page. So we have Pip Exim as our Instagram page. There we share a lot of information on exports, how to become an exporter, how to do exports. Also, what are some of the terminologies, documents, these kind of things that we share on our Instagram. So it is PWIP Exim, EXIM is what you can search us on Instagram for export related content. So here on Facebook, we want to keep it focused on rice and rice knowledge, right? So today, friends, I want to talk about different types of rice. What I want to say is that if you are in the rice business and if you do not know names of rice like RNR, Gudda rice, BPT, these kind of rice, if you have not heard of these kinds of name, then that itself is a proof that there is so much of learning that we all need to do, right? When we are actually kind of studying some particular rice, we are working on some rice, we get to listen to a lot of names in rice. Like, for example, let me take a few regions, right? Let me take Kolkata, for example. If you are somebody who buy rice from Kolkata, Burdwan is the region which is very famous for rice. A lot of people who are exporters are actually, they do a lot of sourcing from there for exports. So Swarna is one short grain rice that they export. IR64 is one rice that they export. Apart from that, Kolkata is also very famous for Miniket rice, Ratna rice, Baskati rice, Gobindbhog rice. Do you understand what these rice are? I mean, the names are different, right? So for example, I will share something with you. Lot of people who buy Swarna rice from Kolkata, but if you go locally there and see, they don't actually call it as Swarna rice. There is different varieties in that short grain rice. One rice is called Gudda rice. One, there is a name which is also called as Dhanraj rice there. So there is a few rice in Burdwan region. If you really ask the millers, they will be knowing, they will be telling you this. So there are quite a few rice like this in various regions. For example, have you heard of a rice called Miniket rice, Ratna rice? So if you see Miniket rice and Ratna rice looks almost like IR64. Miniket rice looks almost like IR36 rice, right? Gobindbhog is a totally different rice. It's a very short grain, fragrant rice. But there are a lot of words and terms that you might actually want to understand. And also, very importantly, in Kolkata, what happens is lot of millers ask you what is the grain length you require. They don't go by say what is the name of the rice. They will just ask you what is the length you require. For example, if you are looking for a long grain IR64 kind of a rice and you will require 6 mm length, so there is a rice in the range of 5.8 to 6 mm. There is rice in the range of 5.6 mm in Kolkata. There is rice which is 5.2 mm, right, which we actually buy it as Swarna. But if you look there are also rice which is called Mansuri there in the region. Burdwan region, 500 kilometers north from Burdwan, there is Bihar where there is plenty of rice available, right? So I am just talking about one particular region right now. Likewise, for example, if you come to Karnataka as a region, there is rice called RNR, right? If you are buying Sona Masuri, the millers will tell you, do you want Kaveri Sona? Do you want pure Sona? Do you want second Sona? What is this RNR Sona, second Sona, Kaveri Sona, right? So these millers is the only people who can educate us on this. They are the only people who can tell you this. So we have also in the past, we have talked about bullet rice, right? So bullet has become a trade name. Sometimes there is kolam rice in it. Sometimes there is RNR rice in it, right? So for us and for all of you if you want to grow your rice business, you will have to get down into the local variety names. Only then will you be able to buy right, because if we don't know the actual local names, then we don't know actually what we are buying, right? For example, in Chhattisgarh, when we buy Swarna and when we buy IR64, do you know that there is a rice, they always call it as 5.7 mm. So what this 5.7 mm means is that they process rice. There is a rice which actually is taken from Swarna and IR64, and then they put it as 5.7 mm rice, which is actually priced lesser. So in the rice business, my friends, it becomes very important to know the local variety names. Is the only point that I need to I wanted to make, right? If you go to Nellore in Andhra Pradesh, for example, if you are buying a Sona variety of rice, there is something called as Nellore Sona, there is something called as non-BPT, there is something called as GR11, there is pure BPT, and then even in idli rice, my friends, for example, in idli rice there is ADT 37, and then there is something called as CR1009 when you buy. So when you are talking to a miller to buy a rice, you don't talk that I want idli rice, right? So whenever somebody is wanting to get into the business of idli rice, it becomes very important whether we want, what is the kind of quality is available. There is something called as ADT 37, there is something called as CR1009, there is also something called as Kranti variety of idli rice, right? So we need to understand this. So local names of the rice, what are these local names? This is very important. One such place where we have tried to put the local names is on the WhatsApp of PWIP, my friends. I hope you might be knowing about this WhatsApp number 8317749274, right? On this WhatsApp number, you just send a hi message. You will be getting a list of rice names from different regions. So here you can actually see different local names. From Karnataka, you can see names like Sona. In Nellore, you can see names like Nellore Sona, GR11, non-BPT, pure BPT. These kind of names that you can understand while buying, right? It is the same for basmati, right? You don't go to a miller and say, "Mujhe basmati de do," right? That it does not happen. So we need to know there is something called as 1121, 1509 basmati. There is something called as raw, steam, and sella. There is something called as creamy sella, white sella, golden sella, right? So this learning of rice becomes very important when we go out to buy or set up a rice business, my friends, right? As I told, there are a lot of rice like say for example 1509, 1401, Sugandha, Parmal, PR11 rice, Sharbati rice. So when we get into details of local names is when I think we kind of we will be able to master the rice business, friends. So to have a better understanding, what I suggest you is that you guys, go to either you go to the WhatsApp of 8317749274. There you check out the price and also the name of different rice from different regions. Or on our PWIP YouTube channel also we have put some videos of rice just to assess how does these rice look, is also what we have put there, right? So then there are different regions, like in matta rice, people say that they want rose matta, wadi matta, palakkad matta is what they say, right? In Kolam, you might have heard. Do you know why people call? Some people ask for vada kolam and some people ask for shruti kolam. What is this vada kolam, shruti kolam, or the normal kolam, right? So a few things like this, my friends. If we are very serious about the rice business, firstly, we have to be very serious about rice as a business, because rice is a very huge market. Friends, India exports about 70,000 crores worth of rice every year, to the outside world. Within India also is a very big market. It's one of the biggest market. Within India, the rice market is something around 4 lakh crores, my friends. Which is in dollars, it is like around $53 billion. So it's a very huge market. It's a very huge opportunity. I would suggest as to not to go into milling of rice. There is a lot that you can do by trading rice. There's a lot of you can do by setting up a B2B supply chain of rice. But what you need for this is your strong product knowledge, rice names, local rice names, prices, how does it look, samples, and a lot of things like this. PWIP is the place, my friends. Please check it out. This is it for today. I will come with other rice content on next Saturday. Till then, thank you so much, friends.